Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whenever you hear this message, I pray that you're poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. In my adult life, I've only read one fiction book, and that is The Famished Road by Ben Okri. Strongly recommended. And in the introduction of the book, he talks about Olodumare, basically. And there's at one point he says that their king, he refers to him as their king. He says, our king lived many lives, and each life was remarkable and distinct and totally unique. But all of his lives were characterized by his love of transformation and the transformation of love into higher realities. And that for me is also the essence of the human journey. We're always seeking to grow and to change and to evolve as much as we might resist it. And today I want to share a lesson with you on how to follow your love of transformation and to transform love into higher realities. In order to do so, this is a cautionary lesson, I guess I should say. You cannot become the struggle. This is super important for African Americans. As prisoners of war, so to speak, as those who have been brought up generation after generation behind enemy lines, our lives and our existence and our very identity is inextricable from the struggle. We're constantly struggling against something. All the institutions that are supposed to be designed to support, to sustain civilization and that characterize the greatness of the United States, all those institutions are biased against us in one way or another. And we found this out, over and over and over again. And as history plays out, we get more and more examples of exactly how pernicious the system is when it comes to the well-being and the humanity of Black people. We're talking about the educational system, the medical system, the legal system, the political system. Like you can find some really strong and outrageous examples of how this institution has been built with codes, the explicit codes that say, do not give these people access. This is not paranoia. This is not, conspiracy theory. There are codes, there are laws, and there are instances in all fields, disciplines, and in all the social institutions of the United States that will bear out what I'm saying. And it's not just here. You're going to find the same thing in the Caribbean. You're going to find the same thing in Latin America. And so our lives are characterized by struggle. We just know it. If you're gonna survive, if you're gonna thrive, you got to be ready to, struggle. Now, in that, however, you have to know that ultimately what you're struggling for is the love of transformation. Is being, in whatever social, economic, educational, spiritual status that you're in. And then you want to go to the highest of your ability. You want to fulfill your human potential. So that's the love of transformation. And then but this is the part, the transformation of love into higher realities. The only way you fully are able to, accomplish human greatness is to accept and give love. Love is like freedom. It's not realized until you share it. Right? Think about it, being free. If you're free all by yourself, you're not free. This is why we love Harriet Tubman. That's why we love all the freedom fighters, right? Harriet Tubman went back, sent people back. She, you know what I mean? Risked her life again and again and again and again. Why? Because she was actually free. And she knew that I can't be free unless I share it. Likewise, love is the same way. I can't really say that I feel love and keep it to myself. It's just for me. It becomes realized when I share it, when I express it. And so, because of that, you cannot become the struggle. You have to make the distinction between who you are, what you're becoming, and the obstacles that you're facing along the way. Okay? And so, something that I've experienced and seen is that we who are brought up in survival mode will sometimes stagnate because growth and transformation, love, the experience of love, requires vulnerability. It requires openness. And when you have been conditioned to scrutinize, challenge, knuckle up and get ready to just put it down on sight, you will find it difficult to let your guard down, even though you know that that's the pathway to progress, and so I as a teacher, as a guide, as a priest, as a man, I can recall many instances wherein a person who I genuinely love and a person I genuinely want to help will reject my invitation again and again. It will reject the opportunity in the most aggressive and absolutely destructive ways. And not always because they are angry, or not because, they're offended, you know what I mean? But because they have become the struggle, they have become survival mode, and they just can't, find it within themselves. They can't see themselves outside of that. They can't, they don't know how to orientate themselves within their own identity, you know what I mean, without being in fight mode. And as a result, like I said, they stagnate. It's very difficult to see. It's very, very difficult to see. Not only because the person rejects the invitation, not only because the person rejects my love, but also because the person is, in effect, stagnating themselves. Difficult, very difficult to watch someone and know that this person is destined for greatness. This person is destined to blossom. This person really has the true and authentic potential to become, what they want to become. Not that they're going to be famous and rich, but they do have the capacity to fulfill their destiny. And I know that they want to, but that one piece of the equation is where they draw the line. They will not be vulnerable. They will not be receptive. They will not yield. They won't give up the struggle. And so I want to urge you on both sides of the equation. If you're a person who is either offering the invitation to love, care for, nurture someone, and that person is rejecting it, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally, even if they are doing everything possible to make it personal, because people will do that. They will do everything possible to make sure you feel like this is about you. It's not about you. It's about themselves and how willing they are to be vulnerable. And then on the other end of the equation, if you're a person who you're the person, you're rejecting this opportunity and this invitation to be vulnerable and open and receptive. I just want to tell you that although it makes sense that you're doing so, whatever it is that you're telling yourself, it's not true. You have to, it's difficult. Yeah, but it's not true. Whatever justification that you're giving to remain hardened, blocked off, calcified, isolated, constantly gnashing your teeth and spitting fire, whatever it is that's keeping you in that state of mind, it's a fake out. Your ego is deceiving you. Your ego being that aspect of your mind that projects a persona. That's what the ego's part of the ego's function is. People usually say ego and they're talking about vanity, but the real psychological function of the ego is to project your identity. So when you over-identify with struggle, then you're going to have a hard time doing things that don't involve struggle. And when there is no struggle, you'll create struggle. Where there's no fight, you'll create a fight. Where there's no disagreement, you'll create disagreement, because that's the only way you can make decisions. That's the only way you can see yourself. That's the only way that you can be comfortable and at ease, so to speak. So you have to accept that, it's a fake out. Your mind is deceiving you. Stop fighting. Stop resisting. Stop struggling. Accept the possibility of progressing, evolving, and becoming in ways that don't involve fighting. Imagine a world wherein you can grow and flourish and advance and go from one point to the next point, to the next point, to the next point, without being at war. Imagine a world. Imagine a life. And believe that it's possible for yourself. And take those steps every single day. This is a lesson for the leaders. If you're somebody who wants to improve the world through positive influence, then I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origuwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start doing what we need to do to help you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you are destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.